Commence primary ignition.
Hey there, friends, fans, and collectors. Welcome to another episode of Binary Sunset Review. Today we are finally taking a dive into some of the Target-exclusive Clone Wars LucasFilm 50th figures. And of course, we're starting out with the Clone Trooper because they are my favorite. So here we go, kicking it off with ARC Trooper Echo. Let's get going.
Clankers!
Before I begin, I want to remind everyone to hit the subscribe button below. That way you'll stay on the best and the greatest Star Wars news and reviews as soon as I make them. Here we have a close-up of the packaging of the hero of Anaxis himself. Now, Echo is a famed member of Domino Squad who we saw rise up the ranks watching the Clone Wars series. It is completely fitting that he is part of this 4-figure pack of Target-exclusive figures who are honoring the Clone Wars series themselves. But he is looking great in that package. We can see all the accessories he comes with in the bubble there, and I can't wait to get him out of packaging. Let's take the flip here. Let's see the reverse. We don't have really much flavor text, but we do have the beautiful Lucasfilm 50th kind of timeline of everything there. We have the resembled packaging from 12, 13 years ago, and Disney and Hasbro logo in the bottom with too much legalese. But I'll read the little bit of flavor text that comes to the timeline. It says, commemorate the first 50 years of Lucasfilm with figures inspired by the Star Wars The Clone Wars. So they did get the series correct, that they change it up with the series. That's nice to see. Awesome. But let's get him out of his bubble here. Let's free him. First impressions of ARC Trooper Echo out of the box have to be what an amazing figure this is, and how nice it is to see such a memorable character from the Clone Wars series finally get his due in the 6-inch Black Series line. ARC Trooper Echo comes at a great time in Black Series figures. He has a great amount of articulation updates that I'll get into during his articulation phase. We were there for Echo's rise to the ranks from his defensive Camino, where he was promoted, to his, the last time we saw him in this armor, which when he was storming the fortress, saving Master Peel with Ahsoka here. It's really, really great that we're getting even more of an expansion into the Clone Wars figures in the Black Series line. I'm especially happy because now we know that this exact figure is getting his vintage collection launch in his own card that's going to be coming out at the start of next year or later this year. As we can see through the bubble, the facial design for this figure really does hit the mark nicely. We get a brilliant view of Jango's face, and we're able to show it off with the removable helmet that is an amazing accessory to any figure which they do it for. Here we have a great close-up of the paint and design of this figure, which really does come through very nicely, as is expected for these Black Series figures, and especially with the price hike for these guys. But I love that we have a removable helmet. I love that we got that print on his armor that was so famed throughout his Phase 1 armor, through his Phase 2, all the way up to his ARC Trooper armor. And it's really, really awesome that we get all of the accessories that come with the Grand Army of the Republic figures, including his awesome little pistols. Now, the helmet also has a rangefinder that goes on down. It's really, really nicely designed. He has that blue paint scheme that is kept so strong throughout his persona to represent the 501st, who he originally came from. Here we have the accessories that come with ARC Trooper Echo. As mentioned before, he comes with all of the arsenals of the Grand Army of the Republic, including all of the DC-15 variants, both the carbine, the long rifle, and the pistols. Now, since he is from the Clone Wars, we have the newer Clone Wars design of the pistols, but we still have the rifle. I regret to report that, unlike his vintage collection variants, the backpack is not removable, and the backpack also doesn't have a way to store the carbine on it when he's using the other weapons. I really like this design because it really made them arsenals, and I'm pretty upset that the backpack in the Black Series design doesn't have this. We still do get the carbine, but you have to kind of decide whether it's going to be in hand or not. The helmet is a beautiful design, just like from the Clone Wars series itself, kind of a meld of Phase 1 and Phase 2, and with the Mandalorian helmet design with a little tracker that comes down, just like in the Boba Black Series Deluxe that we saw a little bit ago. Great design, great accessories. It is really notable to say that on certain figures that come with dual weapons that are meant and seen to have them be held in both hands, we still are yet to see a trigger finger on both hands. Now, we always get the trigger finger on the right hand, but it has been lacking on the left. This is easily amendable if you are careful, especially careful with a razor blade or an X-Acto knife. You can separate the finger on the left hand. That's what I've done here. I'll demonstrate when I get into articulation, but really easy to do, but a shame that we have to make this kind of change ourselves and that they don't come printed with two fingers to shoot with. And for better or for worse, we have really seen an evolution of the clone design through the show. And this is because it took place from the start of the Clone Wars to the end. The ARC Troopers are a real great representation of this design kind of melding between Phase 1 and Phase 2 helmets. This is most seen with the little kind of fin that was maintained on the top of the helmet here for the Lieutenant, and that stayed throughout the Phase 2 ARC Trooper. Now, I think it's a great addition. I think it's nice. Unfortunately, there isn't a little red light behind it, so it's really just for posterity. But cool to see the evolution of these armors throughout phases and generations. Articulation for this gentleman. Now, I will say that he does come with a lot of the upgrades that we've seen in the last couple of years to the Black Series figures. That includes head articulation, so he has not only the neck joint, but he also has another one, so he can kind of walk like an Egyptian. Even though he's got a bulky armored top, he does have some Shakira hips. He has wrist joints, elbow joints, and as we've seen with some more armored figures, he not only has the flexible pauldrons that let him bring his arms up more to a T, but he also has the more rubberized flexible elbow joints that really let him move the arm much further than we used to get. We have his comma, which is not soft goods, is kind of like a softer plastic, which is interesting. We do get a lot of flexibility in the joints, and moving down the joints, we have excellent knee joints, which also have the rubberized armor that allows for more motion and allows for more hold if you're kind of positioning them on their knees. And thanks due to the ankle joints and the swivel knees, we're able to get some much better stability for balancing him on a knee and a foot. And that's great to see. All said, great articulation updates into this figure. Blast that subscribe button below to stay on the forefront of the best Star Wars news and reviews as soon as I make them. I would certainly recommend picking up this figure. Now, these figures were originally slated to have end caps at Target leading up to the Father's Day holiday. I know there have been some sightings of some of them seen at end caps recently throughout the nation, so those restocks might be happening. Hopefully they are. Keep your ear to the ground. I'll put the pre-order link below to see that if you're in your region, if there is any. I know that, they're out there still. I certainly would recommend this figure. It's an excellent addition to any Black Series figure, and especially any Clone Wars figure or clone kind of army. So it's great to see the expansion of these guys all the way from Phase 1 to Phase 2 to the end of the show. And it's really great to see leaders of the army, especially the ARC Troopers themselves. Thanks for watching another episode of Binary Sunset Review. As always, I've been Mike. Your likes and your views are greatly appreciated. Be sure to take some time for yourself out there, enjoy the weather, take in the sunlight. Have a great day, stay safe, stay strong, and remember, the Force will be with you, always.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.